Let's fence. Oh, get out your sander and dance. Let's fence. Don't spend a fortune now to replace. This is a short video on how I took my fence from looking like this to looking like this, and I saved over $20,000 in restoring it versus replacing it. My fence was in bad shape, but the damage was even worse when I went to clean it. I have a shadow box style and had to replace some of the top beams as well as some of the slats, but most were just warped and terribly stained and quite old. And it's really wet in Florida and everything really rots easily, so I wanted to salvage it as soon as I could. Since we have very hard water in Florida, the mineral deposits were really white and discolored the fence badly. My strategy was to salvage it as best as I could and not to replace it. The only good news is that the bottom of the posts were still strong and not rotten, but the tops were rotted out with holes, so I had to fill them. The routine was simple. I went out and I bought an outdoor cleaner gallon bottle for $10 and quickly realized that it was bleachy, so I saved a ton of money by using diluted bleach myself in a spray bottle. The bleach I made worked even better than the outdoor cleaner, but you'll have to cover vegetation before you do it. Try to do this on a cloudy day, as you want the fence to stay wet, and when you wash everything off, you don't want all of that dirt to be soaked into the wood. So do it when it's cloudy, when it's a cool day, and try to keep everything wet and work in sections. So don't do the whole fence at once, do a section and then move on to the next. Then I power washed the entire fence, and I looked at the wood, tried to inspect it. I didn't even get that close with the power washer, and I still disintegrated the surface layer of the wood, and it left me with fuzzy and furry wood. And I initially panicked, but when I bought a belt sander with 50 to 80 grit, that layer had to go anyway, and I was able to just remove all of the imperfections, all of the warping, and all of these stains with that first run of the belt sander. So I sanded the entire fence with the belt sander at 80 roughness, and then I switched to a smaller grit around maybe 150 and did another pass. The third time, I did go even finer and sometimes used a multi-tool sander with that triangle attachment and also a rotary sander to get the lines out of the belt sander created. So overall, it looked very smooth, it didn't have lines, and it looked pretty clean. It did look amazing after sanding, but if it doesn't look great for you, the application process from here on might be different than mine. So I went with a waterproof clear coat because my fence was salvaged enough and looked decent enough, but you might have to do an opaque paint, like a fence paint, to cover the blemishes if you've got more trouble. But I basically decided to fix this decades-old fence and revived it with a little bit of sweat and arm work, and I did get help from my kids, but it took me about 2 weeks on and off, and it looks great now. The quotes that I got for replacing it aren't even worth mentioning, but needless to say, I did prefer to do it myself. I now know the condition of my fence in and out, and I'm able to kind of stay on top of issues that I found along the way much easier than if I had somebody else do it. I hope this helps you and to help you see it's possible to redo a fence, and good luck in your adventures around the house, and let me know if you've made an amazing restoration yourself. Have a great day.